Hey, 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 I didn't push the applause button. Where is the applause button?
Are we recording this?
We are recording this. We are live. Wait. Where's the applause button? I can. There he is. Hey! Sorry. Applause button. How dare you? It's a live studio audience, obviously. Duh. Obviously a live studio audience. This is
and I'm in the pits,
podcast.
So it's a bit warm here in Mexico. Still.
But it's a bit sweltering in Mexico. This is the F1 Show podcast. I'm your host, Most Wayne, and this is the man in the pits with the tits, Brendan. How are you?
Yeah, knackered, family visit. Dropped them off at the airport. Made the mistake of having a McDonald's on the way home.
Don't have McDonald's. I think over 30 as well. I think something your body just says, look, you ate enough of that when you were in your 20s and your teens. Your body just rejects it. I'm the same with eggs. If I have an egg, oh my God, I know it. I love the taste. Yeah, eggs. Eggs just sit in the bottom of my tummy, causing aggro to everything else that's going on down there. And I love eggs. And every time I'm eating it, thinking this isn't
beans kryptonite. Eggs.
yeah. He went completely mad. Then I pulled a half dozen of eggs and started throwing them at him. Yeah, eggs. No.
If it hadn't been for those free-range extra large eggs, the whole world would have ended.
But McDonald's is that weird. It just it sits here for me.
Yeah.
Just sits here and goes, why haven't? So then the last tactic I did in McDonald's. I'm sorry, this is the F1 Show podcast, and this is about Formula One, I promise. I just want to get over this McDonald's thing, okay? Yeah. The only way now I can consume McDonald's effectively is if I chew it for 30 times. So I'll take the bite and I'll just chew until it's virtually liquid. I'm a couple of stops away from eating McDonald's for a straw. This is
what happens when you get old, mate. You're going to have to blend everything just so you can eat it. You might as well just start now. Now, would you get a milkshake or would you put the Coke in there as a liquid to get it? You know, because
the milkshake contains 36 sugar cubes. There you go. There's an interesting fact. That's one of those facts that no one's going to verify.
Well, if one of our listeners, has ever worked at McDonald's, is it true there's more potato in the milkshake than there is in the fries?
Have you heard that? And I heard it's made from pig's fat as well. So when you think about it, a strawberry milkshake is just like grounded up pig. If McDonald's are listening, if Ronald, if you're out there, stop it. Just stop it. Yeah, there you go, Ronald. He's coming.
Mexican race. Vámonos.
Okay, sorry, people. That little that little conversational excursion. It was an excursion about the dietary problems of the middle-aged man. Well, let's get back to the race in Mexico. Should we do good race, bad race?
If anyone would like to let us know who our demographic are, then we could, target it.
Yeah. Hopefully one day we'll get adverts. God knows what they'll be. Are you constipated? Then why not let the F1
have
show...
erectile dysfunction?
Hey, I won't have any of that.
Hey.
Don't tell them, for Christ's sake. Anyway, should we go on that note? Should we go to good race, bad race?
Yeah, let's do it.
Steering wheel. Somebody tell him to give it to me. Come on, move.
Hey, good race, bad race. Are you getting the results up there quickly? Because we're well prepared. We're always prepared on this show.
Well prepared.
Okay.
What did you think overall?
I thought there was a moment just before the start when someone mentioned it can be a dull race, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a dull race. It's going to be one of those races where it's going to be strung out, and that's what happened.
There was flashes of excitement. Danny Ric
Danny Ric, what's going on?
Good race. Let's start there, Danny Ric.
We'll start with Danny Ric, and it was almost it's too late, isn't it?
Well, did you see the clip on social media?
Go on.
shooting people as he he's driving a DRS over and boom, went off. He went behind
Just
him.
like,
He was
what-
loving it.
what happened?
Yeah.
Did the news finally sink in? Oh, Daddy,
But is it
you're a
all that
Formula One
shit?
driver, and you may not be next year. What? Really? I thought this was all just a myth. I thought he probably didn't believe his own hype.
Penalty.
He's probably reading the news going, that Danny Ric, he's out of that Formula One game.
Yeah.
That's you. Oh, what?
He had a shave and he's like, oh, that's me.
All of that rumours was that man in me? No, I can't believe it. He was phenomenal.
My name's Daniel.
He was phenomenal. And well, we'll go on about my theory on the tyres. What is it with these teams? I'm going to do it now. I'm doing it now. Okay, I'm doing it right now. Whenever they say we're going to put the hard tyre on, you go, all right, forget it. You've lost, and you're going to lose places. Every single time, every race. At what point are all of them going to wake up and go, maybe putting the hard tyre on is the worst possible outcome in any ideal race?
Well,
What's the point? What is the point of the hard tyre?
just to caveat this, the hard tyre changes from race to race, you know that.
Doesn't matter. It's got the name hard tyre. That's it.
Right.
It's that's it. All I hear is hard tyre, and all I witness is
And
hard
this
tyre
weekend,
loss.
on the
Hard
C2,
tyre loss. Sorry.
Four. So
Hmm?
C2, C3, and C4 was the tyre selection this week. So C1 is the hardest compound. C2.
It's like literally made of concrete.
So what you're saying is, I mean, they obviously designated the hardest for that circuit out of the three compounds, but it is a variable tyre. But they've just historically, I wonder if we could find out where they've gone bad. You know, Monaco, was it the same C2 tyre that was the hard tyre that weekend as well? Is it that one tyre, the C2 tyre, that's really, really bad? Or has it been when the C1's been the hard tyre and then the medium tyre's been the C2 and the medium tyre's been really bad that weekend? Is it is it as simple as that, or is it more complex than that?
There's no cliff on these
Was-
tyres. I think we've realised this now. Not like about 3 or 4 years ago when the tyre dropped off, it was like 5 seconds a lap.
Yeah,
it was
but then
ridiculous.
wasn't
There
a
is
few-
no cliff on any of these tyres.
It
And
would go back in as well for a while and then it would go back off and that would be it done.
mm,
So you could drive through the iffy patch, it would come back a bit and then it would drop off completely.
it was just ridiculous. As soon as Hamilton went in and got the hard tyres, I was like, that's that then. And even the
Ferrari garage.
denial from the radio as well for Hamilton. Yeah, you were like 1/10 of a second quicker than Verstappen. Then
We've noticed drop off on the medium tyres. They won't make it to the end. You could tell by Bono's voice he was lying. You know, we get a lot of chat with Bono, and you can gauge where he is with Hamilton. He was lying.
or they'll just radio Hamilton and say you matched Verstappen. Well, what's the point in that? I'm not getting any closer. It's just yeah,
He's not getting any further away.
you've matched Verstappen on that last lap, Lewis.
That's it, Jim.
We think the drop off will happen around about next April.
In the next
Keep going, Lewis. These hard tyres, and it was ridiculous. And I was very disappointed with Perez. Just couldn't quite get in the DRS zone of Hamilton. I think once, and then
even with those crappy tyres.
yeah, and it was just that disappointed me. I thought he's got to get second. If he gets second, then there'll be a slightly unscheduled stop for Verstappen, I would have reckoned. They would have done it. They would have done it. They've got him in and said, "Oh, there's been an issue," or just changed his tyres for no reason. Because I reckon Verstappen would have done that. Because in all the interviews, he was like, "Not going to do it. Not going to do it." Well, of course you're going to say that in an interview, aren't you? Of course you're going to. But you've wrapped up the championship. You've wrapped up the constructors.
Yeah.
So you know, there's
But
no
he's still
there's no benefit for you to stay in front of Perez.
And Checo's done it for him a couple of times. So
He's a big time host, Checo, big time. And I just thought
last year's champion.
Checo could have got into second. I reckon there'd have been a pit stop for Verstappen, and they'd have made something like, "Oh, the tyres went, and we put them on soft."
So who else had a good race? You think Hamilton had a good race then? A better race than Russell?
Better race, better race than Russell. Russell, the one screaming out for the soft tyre at the right time. Unbelievable, isn't it? It's like,
He's been overruled by that team.
Just,
they say there's no leader, team leader, and that, equal drivers, all that kind of stuff. No number one, number two. He gets overruled all the time.
So they still favour Hamilton.
Yeah.
They didn't favour him on those tyres. I was just.
Yeah, but they put Russell on the hards as well, didn't they? Didn't both of them finish on the hards?
I think so. I think they did. You've got the information there in the pits there. You could just go ask. Just go ask.
I don't know how to find that. They've all gone home now, except Red Bull is still practicing.
Yeah, what tyres are on there? And the way that Verstappen was looking after his tyres, it was just, it was a true masterclass, wasn't it, really? Do you think?
Everyone had one stop.
There was no two stoppers.
Lance Stroll had 2 stops.
And Ricciardo?
Russell had 2 stops.
Did Ricciardo have 2 stops?
No, Ricciardo only had 1.
What was he on at the start of the race?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me that.
I reckon he was on the mediums and then he went soft. You could have done medium soft for that race. And that's 2 compounds. Done. Job done.
Yep, I agree with that.
I'm just so happy for Ricciardo, actually. As much as I like to shit on him quite a lot, to see that guy being the racing driver that he is, that's inside of him.
In lap 44, so he went. I would
have
said that he went medium to soft.
That soft tyre was so good, especially for him as well. And he just what I have to put out 10 seconds. All right then. And even that overtake, I think it was a bit more of a racing incident. And 10 seconds, really? Who has got a 10-second time penalty throughout the whole season? Who? No one.
Yeah, nobody.
There've been so many questionable overtakes and knocks and bangs and crashes caused. Nobody got a 10-second penalty. But he did. And it was still, I felt, a slight veering towards a racing incident. And when he explained it, I thought he explained it quite well. He said, yeah, it is my fault, but there was still an element where I still feel like I wasn't given enough room. I don't know.
So the tyres that were available in Austin was the C2 for hard, the C3 for mediums, and the C4s for the softs.
So the C2s are rubbish then? Don't bother with them. I mean,
yeah, I wonder
because that pretty much was Mercedes' best chance for a win this year so far, and poor choices.
Okay, so
Ferrari, what's going on with Ferrari? Let's go with Ferrari.
They had another bad pit stop. I can't remember who it was, but somebody didn't.
Perez had a bad pit stop. That's what put him in third.
Yeah, but they also, Ferrari had a bad pit stop. The front right wheel didn't go on straight. I've
never known Ferrari to have a bad pit stop. That's so unusual.
No.
And yeah, but Ferrari had the demeanour of they just like, well,
they knew they were driving a bus.
they were just like, yeah, we're just getting these last 2 races out of the way.
Yeah, we're just here to collect the Uber fares.
Yeah, they were just on their own. I mean,
there were 10 seconds apart between them as well. Sainz was 58 seconds behind Verstappen, and Leclerc was 68 seconds, so over a minute behind.
From that car, from the start of the season, which was going to be the world conquering Ferrari, what the hell has gone wrong there?
I mean, even Mercedes, Mercedes and Red Bull.
Mercedes aren't going to be number 2. They're going to get that number 2 spot, aren't they?
Yeah.
From a dominant car like Ferrari was.
Hamilton's always red hot in Brazil, and the way the car's performing, his confidence levels, everything's going to push him through. They're going to be up there again in the next Grand Prix. So
no more porpoising, none of that. I haven't hardly seen any porpoising, really.
Oh, there was porpoising. I mean, that's a big long straight on that Mexican track, and there was some of the TV coverage where the head was doing this. But they didn't talk about it as much, and I think it was happening comparably with the Red Bull.
Yeah.
So
Was it?
yeah. If you watch any of the shots of the onboard shots going down that back straight, there was definitely
So the best of the rest. So we've covered the top 3 teams.
Danny Ric, Esteban Ocon did a fantastic overtake of Valtteri, I think it was.
Valtteri had a great qualifying
and he had a relatively good race. He was up in 10th, so he was all right. I mean, he
still when you're starting there, when you're qualifying there, right in the middle of the Q3, in the middle of the pack. Yeah, Alonso, what happened to Alonso's car? You could visibly see that man was just gutted. He was gutted.
I wouldn't have wanted to be the guy driving him back to the pit, or the guy.
You see him, which oh my God! But you would be. That Alpine is a great car.
Yeah,
they're a great team now, aren't they?
I don't know if I'd go as far as say great. They've got a lot of issues. They need to treat the drivers better.
Stop going on about their age. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And just stop,
and actually have them nailed down like Piastri. I mean, retrospectively, what Piastri did was stick up for himself and clarify. He made one tweet and then went quiet. He didn't come out again. He didn't say anything else. He just let everybody else deal with it. And he's still been quiet after it was confirmed he was going to McLaren. So I don't think he shouldn't be as vilified as necessarily we did at the start.
I don't know. I think if a team's investing that much money, there's going to be an expectation.
But I don't think that's the issue at hand here. I think that happens quite a lot.
You can't sit there and think.
Look at De Vries, right? He's gone to AlphaTauri and he's been in Mercedes' back pocket for the last how many years? 10 years? Right? But they've done it the right way. They've gone about it the right way. They had the deal done, signed, sealed, delivered, stamped, everything, triplicate copy, whole thing, before they announced it, right? And that's where Alpine messed up, right? How it happened is probably very
I think a Twitter thing would have been, I think, to do it on Twitter. For me,
that's how Alpine announced it.
Yeah, but a little phone call would have done it. Gone, a little phone call. Just wouldn't have, just phoning, Oh, that's loud, isn't it? That was my sound effects. A little phone call.
Hello, this is Otmar.
Yeah. Why have you put that tweet up? That's what the phone call would have been. Yeah,
Yeah, you beat the job because you have the guy's number in your phone. But,
text, even a WhatsApp. Just go, can we remove that text before you talk about it with me? Get that yawn out of the way. So, Williams, shocker. Well, Albon did all right. Latifi just... What is that boy doing?
Interesting.
What is that boy doing?
If Albon's up there with his teammate regularly above Aston Martin, fighting with the Alphas, the Alfa Romeos certainly, I think that's a true reflection of where the team should be. They shouldn't be down the bottom fighting with Haas. They should be a bit further up. I mean, Aston Martin
just fallen back all year as well. Haas, Aston Martin
have been crap.
AlphaTauri as well.
Alfa Romeo and Williams.
Anything with Alpha in the title has gone all the way to the back of the pack. It's been so disappointing on that, especially for my friend K-Mag. Where's the K-Mag music? Rubbish, really. Rubbish. I'm starting to lose hope in that man. Starting to. Is
Shuby Jr. going to keep his spot?
I don't think so.
Or is the Hulk coming back?
I don't think Hulk's coming back either.
No?
No. I think the Hulk's in a position that Ricciardo's going to be in now. Floating around in the back paddock. He's a maybe guy. If our backs to the wall and there's no one left in the driver market, we'll grab the Hulk. But we'll grab Ricciardo.
Why would you?
I just don't think.
If you get Danny Ric and a Hulk sitting on the bench, why would you pick the Hulk? He's not won a race. He's
No, exactly. No, what I'm saying is, but that's where Danny Ric's going to find himself.
Yeah.
The same position. And that's such a shame because Danny Ric had it all when he was at Red Bull.
I could have been a contender.
Could have been a. Can you imagine that? It's going to get to middle age.
He'll be on the Sky Pad soon because nobody will talk to Ted Kravitz anymore because Red Bull have blanked him, so they'll need somebody new.
What did he say? What did he say?
His comment was
something about Hamilton.
Right, so
go on, let's have it.
The context is quite important.
Right. What text? You're reading a text.
No, the context.
Oh,
sorry, there was a weird noise outside.
Yeah, go on.
The context is quite important. He was talking about Brad Pitt, and he was talking about the
Martin Brundle Brad Pitt thing.
The potential script for Brad Pitt's movie, right?
Oh,
so
Christ.
The storyline of Brad Pitt's movie is that it's a retired racing driver that comes out of retirement. He's only just retired, world champion, comes back in racing against a younger driver, and then he goes into the detail and saying, "How about this for a storyline?" And he describes the Abu Dhabi finale, saying the old world champion was robbed by the young pretender, right?
He said the word robbed.
He said robbed, yeah, and that's why they took umbrage. But my understanding of it at the time was he was hypothetically describing a potential storyline.
It was not talking to him is a bit childish.
It wasn't heavily.
And did he do that in an interview?
No, he did it in his notebook. The notebook from the. Do you watch your notebook?
Sometimes he walks around with his headphones on and his shorts on.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, surely you just approach him while he's doing the notebook and go, "Robbed? What are you having about?" Well, make him lean into it and make light of it. Make light of it.
But they didn't hear it at the time.
So so they didn't hear it. Someone told them about it, or they've gone back and watched it, and then it's like, it's like, really?
He's a journalist, It would be boring if everybody had the same point of view, right? If all the journalists, all the pundits had the same point of view, nobody would watch. So that's his job, is to say different things to his colleagues, to say controversial things, to put the ratings up. Probably more people have now started watching Ted Kravitz as a result of that. Have you frozen there, Wayne?
No, I'm still here.
You have frozen. It looks like you're looking at your.
Am I still? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it looks like you're looking at your grinder feed.
Oh, will you stop saying grinder feed? That's just terrible.
What are you on now? What's the dogging one you're on?
I don't even. I've only got eyes for K-Mag, okay? Shut it. Right, so we've done all the teams. Have we done all the teams?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, and we've done the. I mean, what is this film going to be about? I mean, if it's going to be Brad Pitt coming back. What?
I told you what it was about.
Yeah, but what I'm interested in the era. What era are they going to place it? They're going to place it now.
I think so.
Maybe he's from the 80s and 90s. Hey, what I like. And then he comes back and he beats them now.
We've seen Days of Thunder. Oh, what you mean, like Jensen Button getting back in a car?
Oh, JB getting back in a Formula One car. Although JB had a terrible last race, taking over from Alonso. I've probably met. If you've heard this on the podcast, people, I don't care. I'm going to repeat it. He stood in for Alonso, didn't he, when Alonso was doing the Indy 500, and he stood in at Monaco in Alonso's seat in a McLaren, and he had the weirdest kind of crash just before the tunnel, knocking a car upside down or something. It was the weirdest crash I've ever seen. Not an overtaking spot.
Was it weirder than Perez hitting the pigeon at that spot?
But pigeon's an understandable thing. It's an unpredictable thing. But if you're a racing driver, you can't overtake there just before the tunnel. Anyway, it was a very what's the word?
Ignominious.
Say it again, because I'm not going to be able to say it. What was the other word I couldn't say last week? Ignominious. It was an ignominious ending to his career.
At least that one's got a lot of syllables. The one you can say last week didn't have that many syllables.
Let me have another sip, and I won't be able to say it. Here we go. Okay. I knew someone who couldn't say the word ibuprofen. He couldn't say it.
iBox.
iBox. What iBox? What's that?
iBox.
What? I don't know what you're talking.
You're saying ibuprofen.
But he would say it anyway. I don't know what that is. He would say, and you go, go on, say it, go on. And is there a word you can't say?
I have a family member who has changed the pronunciation of words. So I don't want to lead you. But if you've been walking in the desert and you see a wadi or a what do you call them, the oasis in the distance, and then you get there and it's not there, you would be? It begins with D. You would be
delusional.
Other one.
Desperate.
No. Next, keep going.
It's a mirage, isn't it? But I don't know what. Can you not say it then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, I can say it, but I want you to say it so that I'm not leading you in the pronunciation of it.
Delusional. Delusion. Dehydrated.
Yes.
What? Was that right? Dehydrated. Delirious. What? Delirious. How does he say it?
Delirious.
Delirious. That's like delirious doesn't rhyme with hilarious, does it?
No. We've had the whole family ganging up on this one family member, and
you just make him say it over and over and over again.
Voice notes.
And once you say a word over and over again, it starts to mean nothing anyway, doesn't it? You start going, what does that word ever mean?
Anyway, let's go back to Formula One.
Formula One. Sorry, Formula. And have another sip of wine. And I can say delirious. Delirious? I'm going to say delirious now.
Wonderful.
Who got fastest lap? Russell.
Fastest lap? Yes, you did. Yes.
Oh, was it on the hard tyre? Oh no.
No, he went in and changed it. Funnily enough.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I feel like. How many times do I have to moan about that hard tyre? We think the best tyre is the hard tyre. Do you? Have you been watching Formula One this year? Anyway, sorry. That's enough of that.
Danny Ric had the third fastest lap of the race. That's pretty good going.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Where has that boy been?
Yeah.
That's even more. That's more frustrating now that guy's just going to do that. Just literally just. Just Danny.
You want to guess who had the slowest lap?
Oh, Latifi.
Hey,
good old Latifi. He doesn't care though. He's just like, yeah. Oh, we couldn't get this tyre working.
Lap. It was his 56th lap, when he's got really heavy because he's got no fuel left.
Yeah, that one. All that empty air weighs the car down. Car down, and what? He just doesn't care. He's like, and it's always like we couldn't get the tyre working. We just couldn't get the tyre working. Well, it's going round, buddy. Well, put your foot down.
Not fast enough.
Oh, he's yawning.
Not fast enough.
Podcast listeners, we do this. This isn't our full-time job. You would never have guessed it by the amount of subscribers we've got. But actually, this isn't our full-time job. We work full-time elsewhere. So please don't judge us if we're yawning through this podcast.
As well as being members of active households. Let's put it that way. I've had a very busy day. Wife was up at 4:30 this morning.
4:30. Yeah. Those were the days. 4:30. Anyway, should we go on to pit talk? Have we got any pit talk? Where can you find
private market news, but nothing earth-shattering?
Let's just go for earth-shattering pit talk and then some drivel. We've got predictions to come up.
Yeah.
See, because I am 1 point ahead. I am 1 point ahead.
Where?
Sorry?
Where?
No,
you were 1 point ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said where. Well, right here. Just here. 1 point ahead. Okay, people. Let us now go to Pit Talk. Pit Talk it is. Let's have some driver market news.
Driver market. So let's start with the things we know. Aston Martin. We talked about Nick de Vries, didn't we? Last week? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Right. So Aston Martin have now announced that
Nick de Vries. There's a rhyme there somewhere. Find a priest.
Well,
there you go.
Did you hear what Carlos Sainz said?
What did he call him?
De Vries is on the track behind you. He said, "What? There's debris on the track?
Debris?
Behind me? Why are you telling me?"
That might not age well.
De Vries is on the track.
Yeah. There's a priest on the track. What are you talking about? Wasn't me. I didn't touch it. So go on, Nick de Vries. We know where he is. He knows where he is. One race, completely did a big turd all over Latifi's career in one day. Oh my God. Yeah. Literally.
Another good name is Stoffel van Dorn, is he's a current Formula E champion. And he's
radio controlled cars, basically. Yeah, it's the milk float races, isn't it? I'm just being horrible. I know they're quite fast, but are they the same thing? Are they the same thing? Is the acceleration the same in one of those cars?
I think it's quicker, isn't it?
The acceleration is quicker.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the same?
There's less mechanical drag.
Okay.
Anyway, he is now
from the power unit.
He's the driver. He is the
Stoffel van Dorn's been about before, though,
driver.
isn't he?
He's a Mercedes driver.
He's been in F1 before, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's got a couple of races under his belt. But it's interesting. He's gone.
I'm sure he's been a McLaren driver. Anyway, go on. Stop.
Why? Let's look at that. I've actually sat. Have I sat in his car? It was.
Have you? Did he know?
It was his car. That was a Formula E car.
I'm pretty sure he's been a Formula 1
His
driver.
Mercedes Formula E car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Formula 1. Yeah, McLaren. He was McLaren.
I told you. See?
16, 17, 18, and then 21 to now.
Yeah.
He's their backup driver, and
he's coming back.
Driver.
Did he have a full season with McLaren? I think he did partner with Alonso. I'm pretty sure after Button left. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, he did. He was unfit to drive. Oh, so he stepped in for Fernando Alonso.
In his debut full season at McLaren, Van Dorn established himself as a considerable rookie next to veteran F1 champion Fernando Alonso. And that's good memory for me, actually.
Oh, so he raced 2017 for McLaren, 2018 for McLaren.
So all that talk I just said about you're never coming back, when they aren't really. They can come back. And who was the other one that came back? The Russian fella, then had his girlfriend nicked by Verstappen.
Oh yeah.
He came back. He went off for a year and then come back.
Yeah.
He was all right. He was all right. We've talked about that guy before though. He's Russian. We're not allowed to talk about him. So
but I think there's a lot more crossover now with the Formula E and the Formula 1 cars.
Yeah.
They look very similar. They act very similar. There's a lot of tech crossover as well. But he also does endurance. He's a very active driver. So I think that's one of the things that certainly Nick de Vries was an active driver in other areas. So if Danny Ric does...
As opposed to a passive driver, obviously.
Yeah, well, if Danny Ric just sits on his ass all season and doesn't race elsewhere, then that is going to reduce his chances of getting a grid seat for the coming years, you know.
You got to keep your foot in the door, haven't you? Got to be still running around.
Foot on the pedal, eh?
On the pedal. Those esports cars could technically, if you've got a long tower, right? Got a long tower and a big radio control.
A high tower.
That's what I said. That's what I said. You know what I meant. I was inferring. Okay.
I'm just making sure everybody else does, all of our listeners, you know.
Okay, and you've got a big big remote controller, right? And you can see the whole track. You could stick anyone in the car, couldn't you? You could be
monkeys and rocket ships, mate.
That's it. Anyone could be in the car. You've got the big remote controller. because it's electric, isn't it? I don't know what I'm going on about, but I reckon I reckon that's where Hamilton's going, because that's where he started, didn't he? He started on radio controlled cars, Hamilton. There's a great clip of him in blue.
This is really poor content this week.
Well, like, we never promised you a rose garden. I think that should be the new banner on the top of the podcast.
Lewis Hamilton is negotiating a new deal. I would expect an announcement before the end of the season.
But he signed up. When's he signed up for?
He signed to the end of next season, I think.
Is he going to go? He's going to stop. He desperately wants to be the GOAT, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing. He will knock it on the head once he's got that last championship. He's definitely. But yeah. And the other one was again, I'm going to contest this, when they were like, "You've won the most ever races in the season. Woo, well done, Verstappen."
But
it's relative.
Verstappen has been quick to point that out.
It's relative.
Which is what I like about him. He said yes, but we've had more starts this season.
More starts. So percentage-wise, he might have done it.
The season is the interesting stat when you have to look at it that way.
Yeah. Well, of course he's going to be nice. He seems a lot calmer, old Verstappen, now he's got the old championship. The proper one, like I said, he's earned this one. He's properly earned this one. He can't just go, "Oh."
Even though they overspent on the budget.
What was it? Too many turkey twizzlers? Too many turkey twizzlers or something?
Too many turkey twizzlers, a retirement package, sick pay. Oh no, sick pay.
So giving someone more money, paying more money out on sick pay, that's not going to benefit the team. There's no benefit for the team there. That's technically no benefit.
Yeah.
And
I think it's quite wrong of a lot of trolls on the Tinterweb to have a go at them for that.
Yeah, but it's the Tinterweb, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But
look at this crap.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any quality answers there, are you?
Yeah, I mean that was the number of views last week was off the scale.
We had 144 views on YouTube, and our worst week on Buzzsprout on the old podcasting. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that's our worst week since starting.
But how many?
But before we finish Pit Talk, we've got to go to a Murray.
Oh yeah, do we? Where is he? Is he there?
He's up.
Unless I'm very much mistaken.
Thank you, Murray. Almost like he's never been away. He's been saying he's got some friends up there as well who want to join the show. So maybe, hopefully soon, they'll be joining in. Not joining Murray, but there'll be some of the stars of old wanting to get involved in the show. It's really exciting. I'm completely in touch with the underworld there. There you go.
The underworld.
Is it the underworld? Isn't that meant to be hell?
Afterlife.
The afterlife. Up's good, down's bad. Okay, anyway. Any more pit talk we got going here?
Not really.
Not really. It feels like a wind down, doesn't it?
It is. It's a quiet week. It's towards the end of the season. Nobody's bringing new developments. They're all kind of working on the 23 car.
What's this wind tunnel thing? They go on about this wind tunnel thing, and then I was watching some of the interviews with Danica Patrick. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. That was. Did you hear that podcast? There was a little bit of a. That was unconscious there. Anyway, she was talking about how it won't affect next year's car. It's going to affect the year after.
Kind of. Go on.
Tell me more.
So
man in the pits.
The majority of wind tunnel time will be on the cars that they're running now. They're not going to change the cars massively, right?
So they're going to. Okay.
So they've done the majority of the aero development that they want. They're going to tweak the car, so next year's not going to be a big development year, right? So they're going to
even Mercedes, because there was talk of them binning that car completely off.
Well, let's talk overall, right? And then we can get to specific teams.
Okay.
So overall, they're going to, Mercedes are going to have to change their car quite substantially, but the majority are just going to tweak it relative to what they did last year.
Yeah, right, okay.
But there's changes coming in the 24 season that are going to make the car shorter. There's changes to the wheel. Basically, the drive shaft is going to be made shorter.
Okay.
So that's going to change the aerodynamics of the car. We're working towards making the cars lighter, less aerodynamic dirt coming off the back, so the cars can follow closer, more competitive racing, right? And
can I make them shorter, like we talked about, so they can fit around Monaco?
That's partly what they're trying to do. They're trying to make them shorter. Take out there's where the power unit is, or in the power unit.
Okay.
You've got the combustion engine, and you've
That's
got
the engine, people. Anyway, go on.
You've got the turbo and the batteries and the electric motor, and there's a drive shaft between all that and the gearbox, and all that can be shortened down.
Okay.
And how teams do that is up to them, but it has to have a maximum distance between the front wheelbase and the back wheelbase. Right. There's a maximum distance, so it's going to shorten the car down. So that's where the development will be on. So when they get a limited length of time in the tunnel, how they use that is up to them. If they've got really good modeling. Now this is an interesting thing where because Red Bull have partnered with Oracle and Mercedes have partnered with Ineos, regular listeners will realize that they are both America's Cup teams. They've got
really regular listeners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to every single podcast because I've mentioned it at least twice previously.
Okay.
They use that's how they get across the budget cap, is that instead of having an aerodynamicist working 40 hours a week for Team Red Bull Racing,
on salary for Red Bull, go on,
salary for Red Bull Racing. They have them work 20 hours for Red Bull Racing and 20 hours for a Team Red Bull Alinghi, I think it is, in the America's Cup. And the same with Ineos Team UK, share their brain power with the Mercedes team.
So they're on part-time wages.
Yes, so it brings it down a bit. So they're not having to pay annual salaries; they're only paying part-time salaries, right? But these guys also have very well-developed simulators for fluid dynamics, hydrodynamics, aerodynamics, that they can use those programs on their vehicles and adapt them. So if they're designing a sailboat and seeing how the air flows over that, they can use those that software and apply it to the car.
Right.
And so it means they're less dependent on
wind tunnels. You know, the day of the wind tunnel is just nearly over anyway.
No, because Mercedes didn't, even with all that, they didn't predict the porpoising.
Well, how come the wind tunnel did?
Because the car doesn't move. The wind's going across the top, and you watch how you can measure the forces of the air going over. It's on
like a roller thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no air going under the car to produce suction down the way.
But the air's being forced at it, isn't it? It's not been blown
over the top, mostly.
But I thought, doesn't it make the wind tunnel redundant then all of a sudden?
No.
If they can't predict the behaviour of the car? I don't understand. So when they put that car in the wind tunnel, right, and they blew air at it to simulate the car cutting through the air with movement, it still didn't produce a porpoise.
No, it's not going to suck it down.
Why?
It will push it down, but it won't suck it down.
It won't get this.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about if you had a plane on in a wind tunnel on a treadmill, would it take off?
Yeah, but they're not. I'm trying to get them. You can almost hear the little mouse in the wheel in there, just going. I got to get some cheese and just push it in my ear. If of course it's not going to take off because it's in a wind tunnel, right? Okay, I'm with you. Right, let's take this slowly, podcast listeners. If you want to go get yourself a cup of tea, I'm going to sit here and think. Right, okay, I know it's not going to take off, but the movement of the plane would be predicted. We're not talking about planes. We're talking about cars. Shut up. Stop trying to misdirect me.
No. The movement isn't going to be predicted. The forces acting upon the external surfaces of the aircraft can be measured.
Right.
Right?
That's called the air, right?
It's not as simple as that. And
I know it's not as simple as that.
That no matter how good a wind tunnel is or a computer simulation is, it's never going to be the same as out on track, right?
Whoa! Listen,
out on track is optimum.
On your treadmill, it's flat, isn't it? It's just zzz. In a racetrack. When you go up a little bit like that, it's changing everything, and down like that. If it's a concrete surface, it's not flat, is it? Am I right? And that's what might cause the porpoising.
Might be some of that, but it's
also
also
give that to me. I literally gave about
in a wind tunnel. It's
2,000 calories of thinking.
The airflow across the car is too steady. You can't on a track. It's coming from all ways, right? The majority is coming forward across the nose. But it's also the wind's blowing sideways, or it's blowing, or it's vortexing off cars, or it's bouncing around trees, or it's
you can't simulate that. You can't.
It's not fresh. It's not clean laminar flow air traveling.
And like I said, and the other thing is the ground's not flat, and you're not predicting. Yeah,
you can never simulate all the variables that are available on a track.
In the real world. Okay.
Yes.
We got there in the end. We did get there in the end. I feel like I've learned something. The podcast listeners have learned something. Mainly that I'm an idiot. And the world's a better place for it. Do you not think through that discussion?
Something like that, yeah. Right.
There was a long pause there. I'm going to edit that out. I'm going to try and edit that long pause out.
No, don't. No, we've spoken about it.
So, let me have a glass of wine because I know that makes me smart.
Now, so you have to leave it in.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Right,
so while you're having the wine, Aston Martin, who are currently in 7th in the constructors.
They're in all those places.
They're in seventh place. This is
come on, that was my best joke. Sorry, that was my best joke. I'm going to put the laughter track on that. Okay, people. Good. Anyway, go for it. Anyway,
Aston Martin are in 7th place, right?
Okay.
So the 7th place team is what is called 100% can be spent on aero, and the 100% of the available money can be.
I get all the
allocated budget for wind tunnel testing. 100%. Okay. So in the budget cap that they've got an amount that can be spent on. 100% of that can be spent on wind tunnel tank, right?
Okay.
So Aston Martin 7th place, right?
Right.
It's a sliding scale from there up and down. The lower you are, 8th, Haas have 105%, AlphaTauri have 110, and last place Williams have 115%, right? So the theory there is to bring the lower teams up by giving them more wind tunnel time because it's a really useful tool.
Reward failure. Brilliant.
No, it's not rewarding failure. It's trying to level the playing field, the same as the budget cap, to make it more competitive. Because the gaps, right? Haas didn't have enough money to reach the budget.
This is why communism doesn't work. Go on,
right?
Anyway.
Communism would work if it wasn't for the people.
Yeah, exactly. Same as capitalism. Don't start this. Just get on with this, okay?
So they're trying to level the playing field. So as a result, the better you do, the less wind tunnel time you get. So Alfa Romeo in 6th get 95% of the budget. McLaren get 90%. Alpine get 85%. Mercedes get 80%. Ferrari get 75%. And then the first place team should get 70%.
Now they're going to get 65%.
But now they get 63%. That's the penalty.
63. Okay.
63.
Well, but their car's so good. And it's going to be a Reuters
car, though. It's going to be the one after that. So it is. You've got to play the long game. I mean, how can you penalise them now for something that was done a year ago? Do you know what I mean? A year and a half ago. It's you've got to have those. On track. You make a mistake. You get a penalty.
Turkey fucking Twizzlers. That's what's done that. Greedy people in that canteen. Chicken wings or something, wasn't it?
Helmut Marko thought it was front wings, and it was actually chicken wings.
Chicken wings have cost us 7% of the time in the wind tunnel. That doesn't kind of predict anything. No, it does. It does. I'm sorry. Wind tunnels have their uses, people.
Christian Horner reckons it'll be about 0.1 of a second a lap difference it'll make.
When they try and do that, I don't know, really. 0.1, 1/10, a tenth, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's an impossibility to predict, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to predict. There's no comparable thing. When people say that's going to cost us this and it's implemented, yeah, but you don't know because you haven't got the other thing to compare it to. Unless you produce a Red Bull with 70% time in the wind tunnel and then run them against each other, you're never going to know. Does that make sense? When they do that? Yeah,
it's if I had run faster, I'd have won the race.
Yeah. If I hadn't had Cocoa Pops this morning, I would have. Well, have you got a version of you that didn't eat the Cocoa Pops to prove that? No. Then you don't know, do you? You don't know. It might have been the Cocoa Pops that did it.
It's called science.
Good old science. Someone mentioned a weird science the other day, and I just had this vision of bras on heads. What a film. Kelly LeBrock. Kelly LeBrock.
Only a PG.
Oh my, that was a PG.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take my mum to go watch. I don't know where it come from.
I wouldn't let my watch.
I wouldn't take. I thought you were going to say I wouldn't take your mum. Weird science. Anyway. So, what do you reckon? We're going to do predictions now.
Yeah, let's do predictions.
Okay, so let's run the predictions graphic.
I'm ready to riot it.
There you go. Predictions graphic. Okay. First of all, we're going to add up our points. Then you're going to give us all the information for the next race because I don't even know where it is. And then,
it's not this weekend, so we've got to do another one of these. Or are we just going to?
Let's just do it. And
we can put up thingies next week. Again, Ernie. We could revisit Ernie.
What? Try and get Ernie on next week?
No, put his podcast back up again because that's not time sensitive.
Would you? What? Republish it?
Yeah. Or promote it again.
We'll promote it again. Okay. Let's do this.
Let's go back to the predictions clapping again. Edit this bit out.
Why? Okay.
Let's not bother.
Hey! Predictions. Okay, let's add up our points from the last race. Okay, so I've screenshotted it because, as you know, I was away last time.
Yeah, you are.
I've screenshotted it. Let me just get ready. Let's get on here. Push that button there. Okay, get my pen ready this time before I share the screen.
Now, to clarify, are we just doing scores today, or are we predicting for the Brazilian Grand Prix?
No, let's do the whole lot, and then we'll think of something else to talk about next week. Okay. So. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
So the next Grand Prix is on the weekend of the 11th, 13th of November.
It is.
It will be at the Autodromo José Carlos Pache, which is in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil. And as we all know, Lewis Hamilton is now the most famous Brazilian Formula One driver, carrying a Brazilian passport.
Does he really?
Yep, he was awarded by the Brazilian.
I love him over there. You know why? Because his helmet, he loved Senna. He adored Senna. And they adore him. If you adore Senna, they adore you. That's the way it is.
First Grand Prix was 1973. There will be 71 laps of the circuit at a circuit length of 4.309 kilometers, quite a long track. There will be a race distance of 305.879 kilometers. Lap record, go. Who do you think it was? It was 1 minute 10.540.
Kimi Raikkonen.
2018.
Oh, okay. It's Hamilton, isn't it?
Valtteri.
Wowzers.
Always a bridesmaid.
Can I just make a stab in the dark on who won the first Brazilian Grand Prix in 1973? Now, 1973, there was a championship that was won by Jackie Stewart. But I think I can help. Is it Emerson Fittipaldi?
I'll be with you in a minute. You can edit out this gap.
No, we're not editing. We don't edit anything. That would mean quality. And we don't, that's a standard that we don't adhere by. If the only standard we've got is there are no standards.
It was at Interlagos and the race was won by hometown hero Emerson Fittipaldi.
Oh, he's just a genius. Do you know? And was he driving a Lotus? A Lotus?
Who started from second place? Yes, it was a Ford.
Who was in first place?
Who was
Jackie Stewart?
No. Ronnie Peterson.
The late Ronnie Peterson.
Yeah. And Jackie Stewart finished in second.
If he ever was really late, you know what I mean? Did he really die in that? Anyway, go on.
Oh, that's the one you thought was the...
No, I didn't think. I was told. We'll talk about that after. I haven't got my tinfoil hat.
Right,
Maybe we
okay.
could talk about that in a later podcast.
Yeah.
That encounter with someone who... Anyway, so...
That's who you thought he was. Right, okay.
That's right. No, not like I thought. I believe that. I believe what you said. I do truly believe it. There's no... Why would that dude make that up? Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Let's do that.
let us now share the screen to count up. We can talk more about the Brazilian Grand Prix and my favourite Brazilian Grand Prix in a minute. Let's just share screen, obviously, where I can. Can you see the screen, sir? Can you see?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's add up the points. Can you get the last race results, please?
Yep.
Okay. Pole position, Max, yeah?
Pole position was Max Verstappen.
2 points for you. Who won the race? Nothing for Perez. You get a point for Perez because he was in third. You get a point for Max because he was in first. Sainz, you get a point for where did he come? Fourth or fifth? Fifth or sixth? Fifth or sixth?
Sainz was fifth.
Fifth. So Sainz, you get a point for him. Russell was fourth, wasn't he? You get 2 points for him.
Yep.
Leclerc, I was a bit cheeky here. Look. Leclerc, sixth was he? So you get 1 point. Hamilton, you get a point. Norris, did he get a point?
Ninth.
Came ninth, so you get a point. Oh, I'm not liking this. K-Mag, Ocon, where did he come? Nothing for Alonso. Nothing for K-Mag. Where did he come?
Eighth for Ocon.
You've got a good little haul here. I'm being honest now. What was the fastest lap time?
Fastest lap time was George Russell, and the time was 1 minute 20.153.
20.15. Who's closest?
Oh, hang on.
Right, let me just add up these points. 2, 3, 4. You do the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's 11 points. Well done, you. You've done I don't mean to sound patronising when I say that, okay? That truly is well done.
Not wrong, man.
Okay. 1 minute 20 what? I think you've got that. 1 minute 20 what?
Hang on. 1 minute 20.153.
Yeah, you're close, aren't you? Because I'm in 1 minute 21.
Yeah, so yeah.
So you get a point for that. So you got 12 points there. Well done. That's a good haul. I'm not confident now because I haven't got that. So nothing for Leclerc for pole. Nothing for my time. I got the same for Perez and Max. Hamilton I got in third, but he was second. Damn it. Russell got 2 points.
Sainz was fifth.
Oh. Leclerc was sixth. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good. Where did Norris come? I got a point for Norris. I got a point for
Norris
Ocon.
was ninth. Ocon was eighth.
Eighth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, two.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh! This is going down to the wire, my friend. This is going down to the last race.
Gotta go to Abu Dhabi.
It's going to go to Abu Dhabi again. That'll make it. We should make a movie. Can I be Brad Pitt?
I'm going to give you some advice. You get the chance to pit and change new tyres, all right?
Yeah. Oh, my put the hards on. Right. Okay, let's stop sharing. We're going to add those points because I've got a document. I'm actually prepared this week. Okay. Prepared. I'm super impressed with that. Now, that is just unbelievable. So we've got to add 12 points. Okay. We're not saving that. I'm talking to the computer here. So here we go. Let's get this up. So let me just get this focused. Come on, don't do this. Hold on. How are you podcast listeners out there while I'm doing this? Are you all right? Yeah? Okay. So there.
Please leave some messages.
Yeah, we haven't got anybody. We did get a message from Carl. I was a bit upset about that. I thought he would send us a message to say hi. Okay. Hopefully he'll pop a message in this week. Right, so let's first add 12 points to Brendan's score. So 186. Add 12 points to mine. 187. Oh, right, let's clear these off. Right, so let's just do that. This fastest lap thing could be a decider, couldn't it? Because lots of people have a little dive at that at the end, don't they? Okay, we're just erasing
Hamilton for pole.
Whoa. Hamilton for pole. Is that what you're going to go for?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hamilton for pole. Where is he? There's 2 Russells over this side. What's going on? Where is the goat? You don't get the goat. I get the goat. Where's Hamilton? Hamilton for pole. There we go. That's not pole, is it? Second. Now I'm trying to stitch you up here. Hamilton.
No, do you remember how to do that? You just type Hamilton in there.
I know. This is wine. Sorry, I realised when I said it. Hamilton. You're going to say Hamilton for pole. And I think I'm going to go the same there, actually. So just because I've been a constant supporter of the GOAT all year. Hamilton. Okay. Oh, why is it doing that? Right. So let's do your top 10, sir. Oh, what was that bang? Drop the mic.
I think I'm going to go for Hamilton to win.
Oh, see, that was what I was going to go for. Go on.
Verstappen second, Perez third, Hamilton fourth.
No, it's like Hamilton fourth. Both of them, both Hamiltons.
Russell fourth.
Slow down, soldier.
I'm going to put
You think these Ferraris are doomed, don't they? There's nothing in the tank for these Ferraris.
I reckon. Yeah. I reckon Lando will be up there. Let's put Lando in fifth.
Okay.
And then Carlos. And then Alonso.
No, Leclerc. Carlos, then Alonso.
Yeah, then Leclerc.
Yeah.
And then who have I missed out?
Well, all of them. Where's Latifi in this? Come on. Zoom out a little bit so that our podcast listeners can see the full picture here. Our podcast listeners can see the full picture. Did I say that?
Yeah.
People watching on YouTube.
Watching in black and white.
Yeah.
The red ball is the one behind the black one.
Yeah.
Let's put. We've not got yet.
Oh, this is down to the wire now. This is down to the
Ricardo
wire.
9 and Bottas 10.
Ricardo,
Yeah, Ricardo 9. Bottas.
you're just copying me now. Because I was going to go for Ricardo.
I go in first. I think Perez will get the fastest lap. I reckon the fastest lap time will be, he says, looking at what the time is now, 1:11.
Just one. That's it. Brilliant. What?
1:11.932.
1:11.932.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get my. I think the fastest lap is going to be. Russell. I think he'll do that again. Russell. Okay. Oh, come on, really? I don't want that red line. That's annoying. Now the double blue line. Okay. And the lap time, I'm going to go 12.453. Okay. That's what I'm doing there. Okay. You happy with that?
Yep.
Right. Now, this is a tough one for me because I was going to go for the GOAT to win. But somehow, I think Russell's going to get it. And then I think we're going to get Verstappen second. Then we're going to get the GOAT third.
Oh.
Right. Where's Perez? Where's our old mate Perez? In amongst it here. Is there another Perez here? There he is. I've got three Perez's on this board here. Perez fourth. Then we're going to have Leclerc. I was going to take science from your side then. I think, yeah, I do feel like these Ferraris are going to go line astern again. Now this is where it's going to get a bit spicy, isn't it? Where's our mate Norris? We've got another Norris here. Norris.
Where is he? You got him?
Yeah, I got him. Yeah.
He mag's down the bottom right, just FYI.
And then we got Alonso. Now, do you know what? I do feel like that actually. Okay, I'm gonna have to read them out for our podcast listeners, obviously, because they can't see. I'm putting Ricardo 7th, then Norris 8th. I think Ricardo's going to have a good race. I think it might have helped him confidence-wise. What do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think it will give him a bit of a buzz. That's why
that it's not all lost. That the guy has still got something in his mojo. And Albon 10th. Right, so I'm going to read out both our top 10s here. Your top 10 is Hamilton to win, Verstappen 2nd, Perez 3rd, Russell 4th, Norris 5th, Sainz 6th, Alonso 7th, Leclerc 8th, Ricardo 9th, and Bottas 10th. I've got Russell to win with Verstappen 2nd, the GOAT Hamilton 3rd, Perez 4th, Leclerc 5th, Sainz 6th, Ricardo 7th ahead of Norris, and then Alonso, and then Albon. I fancy Albon's doing all right. He's clocking them in, isn't he? Yeah, that's our top 10 people. Let's stop sharing, which isn't caring apparently. Okay, so yeah.
All right.
You'll never beat the Brazilian Grand Prix of 2008. Obviously, can't be beat. Can't be beat. What? When Hamilton won his first championship on the last corner of the last lap with Massa, thinking he won it. Have you never seen that race? Tell me you've seen that race. You weren't watching it then?
Nope.
You weren't right. Hamilton won his first season, right? Him and Massa. We talked about this before on the podcast.
Oh.
I'm not having a go at you, mate. You've not watched it. You've not watched it. You know.
I can't go back in time.
I can't go back in time and rectify the fact that you've not watched it. But Hamilton and Massa, they fought the whole season out, and the last race of the season, Massa had to win and Hamilton had to finish. I think it was higher than 5th. And then the last 4 laps, Hamilton was in the right place. The last 4 or 5, 6 laps, it starts to rain, and the whole place goes mental. And Massa was going to win it, and that's why when they say Massa was the 32nd world champion, he crossed the line, he did his job, he won the race, and they cut to Massa's pit, and his dad, the whole Ferrari pit, are just celebrating and everything, and all the cars kept slowing down because of the rain, and Hamilton just overtook the car he needs to overtake 2 corners from the end. And it's to watch that race. The last 10 laps of that race are phenomenal. And my heart goes out to Massa. He thought he'd become world champion in Brazil, winning the Brazilian Grand Prix, and he was for 30 seconds. And Hamilton overtook just the right number of people at that last lap. It's heart-stopping stuff, mate. But when you watch the pit crews going mad, both pit crews go mad, but the Ferrari pit crew didn't realise that they'd lost, and they're all jumping up and down, and someone has to grab Massa's dad and go, no, you've not won. It's phenomenal to watch. I implore you to go watch the highlights.
I might do. You can get that on F1 TV, yeah?
Oh, you could get the highlights of that. You must be able to get the highlights on YouTube. Yeah. Definitely the last 10 laps. Unbelievable end to a season. The season, Hamilton's first season. No, that was his second season. His first championship season. Unbelievable season. Really was. And Massa was this close. And it's just, yeah. Poor old Massa. He was a 32nd world champion. He crossed the line and everybody thought, he's done it. And then this one car that Hamilton had to pass was slowing. And a lot of conspiracy tinfoil hats go, oh, maybe there was a radio call that's got on there. But yeah, definitely watch it. I'll send you, if I find it on YouTube, then send it.
Okay, cool.
It's a wonderful race. And that, on that big bang bombshell, is the end of the F1 One Show podcast. We'd like to thank everybody who tune in and watch.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, but we don't have any.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, which is Direlight and yeah. And no, that's not. It's just something I use. Yeah. So we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. There's not a race next week, but hopefully we'll find something. I'll find something. I want to dig something up to talk about other than the season, because we've not done any nostalgia, and I feel like maybe we should watch an old race and then come back and talk about it. I don't know. We'll think about something, people. We will be back next week. This has been the F1 One Show podcast. I've been your host, Wayne.
Great one, guys.
With the tits. It's over their head, not over there. That's Greta. Like this. Yeah, see you later. Bye.